Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society presents to you another amazing episode of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's right. We're back at it again, and we're back to bring you another exciting guest. So with that being said, in the first corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He is Rob Bass, and you are not. In the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up busting, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a man that is embarking on a wrestling career. He recently graduated class 2 of the Nightmare Factory in Atlanta, Georgia. He is a man who, whenever you see the full moon, you think of him. And he never howls alone. Give a warm welcome to our guest of honor today, the British Wolf.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction.
No problem, British Wolf. I gotta say, when I saw you in that student showcase, I was like, yo, I gotta get this man on the show. We gotta make it happen, and we gotta know what it is and what's up with this man's story in professional wrestling. That student showcase, for those of y'all listening, for those of y'all watching, if you have not checked out the student showcase, check it out. Okay? If you can watch 3 hours of Raw, if you can watch 2 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of AEW Dynamite, and 2 hours of AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation, and I'm not knocking any of those promotions, they're great. Check out the student showcase. You will not be disappointed. I was blown away by it. I actually wished I was in Atlanta to actually see it. It's on YouTube, so you don't have to worry about paying anything. It's free. Check it out. But British Wolf, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing fine, actually. It's a great day. It's one of my break periods out of the week, and I'm just kicking back and relaxing and chilling with you guys.
Awesome. So the first question I gotta ask, man. I saw that match. Well, first of all, I just gotta say, that was a great match y'all had. It was you, Charlie Avell, Dean Hiram, and I forgot the other person that was there. I think we actually interviewed them already.
What? How you gonna forget everybody in this?
No. My bad. It was you, Dean Hiram, Charlie Avell. Geez. Rob, help me out here, man. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw some of it. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank too. Yeah, I'm up early on a Saturday anyway.
It was hold on. Don't tell me.
I'm not gonna tell you.
Don't tell me. It was hold on. Give me a second. Hold up.
Yeah, we get it.
I hope I did not interview this person because that's gonna be kind of bad on my part.
You didn't interview him. You didn't interview him yet. Pretty sure.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
Hold on, let me see. I'll find out.
I'm loving the nature sounds, man. That's very soothing, man. Sounds like I'm outside my house.
That's how I like to wind down. I like to take my time and meditate and just enjoy nature. That's how I get down.
That's right. Were you down there, Alabama or whatever? Georgia?
No, I'm actually in Georgia. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm in yeah. So I find my spots and I just relax and meditate.
Oh yeah. I'm all about the woods too, man. I love nature.
Marcus Erics. That was the
there
other
you
guy.
go. There you go. I want you to remember that name, and I want you to get it because these guys are talented individuals, and And man, going through the camp, they made a huge impact in my life because to show how hard everybody worked together and how they put their strength and their mind, their body, and their spirit into this camp. Just really gave me a brand new respect. Just for because I'm not a people person. You understand? So
Mm,
once I see individuals that's trying to go on that journey, it just makes me feel good. Good people. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That match was that was a great match. Charlie Avell. We've actually interviewed Charlie. He was one of the first people, and then we had Dean Hiram, of course. Marcus Erics is definitely on our radar. Marcus, if you're
Yeah.
watching this, don't go too far, player. We coming after you too.
Mhm.
So yeah, when we saw y'all like that whole like picture of class two graduating, we were like, you know what, we're gonna try to get everybody. We're gonna try to get everybody on this platform so they can tell their
Hmm.
story. And
Hmm.
that's what we do at Ringside Side. We don't care if you're a WWE legend. We don't care if you're an up and comer. We don't care. I mean, we want to hear from
Right.
you, especially if you're an up and comer, because you never know where that person is going to be. I mean, we've had people on here that have went on to do greater things, and we're just like, we're clapping like, yeah, we're glad to say that they did it and they made it happen. So yeah, that's how we roll here at Ringside Society. But I just gotta ask, man. I always ask every guest this. What was the wrestling match or event that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Okay, so for me, my story's a little different. When I moved to the States back in the early 90s, um, the first match I saw on television was the British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. And I couldn't remember what station or channel that was on, but it was on a local station um, back in the early 90s. And from there, I was sold because I don't know, I guess you could say I was some type of a patriot, somewhat flipping down the stations, and I see um a wrestler in a British uniform, a British outfit, and I said, "Hey, what's this about?" Because coming from England at that time, there wasn't too much of anything like what I was used to back at home. So I just wanted to be attached to something still, and it was wrestling. So that was one of my first matches that I saw, and I indulged and just loved watching the entertainment at the time. Yeah.
Awesome, British Bulldog, man. Ooh, that man was a he was definitely an athlete. Um, I
Yes.
was I was very glad. So speaking of British Bulldog, what was your feeling, seeing him going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year?
Um, that was amazing. Amazing time actually to have him inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it was something that kind of brought me back and my memories and everything, and it was just a wonderful thing to see. And I follow the British Wolf, Bulldog Junior, Davy Boy, and it's talented, phenomenal individuals for sure, for sure.
So do you see him like possibly going back to WWE? Because I mean, there's been talks about it. There's been talks about Davey Boy Smith having another run. And to me personally, I've followed his career since he started like back in like what the mid 80s, sorry, mid 80s, the mid 2000s.
Hmm.
And to me, like he has improved vastly. I followed him when he was in Japan as part of the Killer Elite Squad with Lance Hoyt, and that man has improved and he has a killer instinct. So what's your take on that? Do you think we'll see another one or?
Well, in this wrestling world, they always say never, right? And that just goes all around across the board. So, when you think of someone not being a part of something, you just never know when it just show up out of the blue and boom, they're there, and you never expected it in your whole life. You know what I mean? So, for me, I, I could never like talk for anybody else situation or what I think or where I could see them. It's just, whenever the time's right, I guess you'll see everybody be able to be a part of something that, anybody never thought would happen. You know what I mean? So I'm just here for the game. I'm just here for the visuals and seeing all this happening, especially in this wrestling world right now. And it's a great time to be a part of it. of wrestling, especially now everything starts to open back up again, and it's just a phenomenal thing to see how hungry the fans are to get back into the arenas to be entertained by their favorite superstars.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, honestly, I miss going to shows. I miss like meeting different fans as well too. And I think after once things open back up, there's going to be people aren't going to take it for granted. People are going to be very like it's going to be it's going to be something to witness. So okay, so now you're a fan of professional wrestling. In regards to the British Bulldog, in regards to the British Bulldog getting into the Hall of Fame, I personally was happy for him. He definitely deserved it. The only thing I wished would have happened that I wish they would have done was put him in as because I know he had a great singles career, but I was hoping that maybe one day it might happen. The Dynamite Kid would also be
Mm,
inducted real soon
mhm.
because the British Bulldogs, they were, in my opinion, they were a very revolutionary tag team, and they're one of those tag teams that they've inspired other tag teams, but they can never be duplicated, no matter how hard somebody
Facts.
tries. I've seen one
Facts.
team actually come close to looking somewhat similar to them, and that was the I don't know if you remember this team, the American Wolves. One of them, well,
Hmm.
Eddie Edwards is in Impact. Davey Richards is
Right.
supposedly making a comeback into wrestling, but that's the closest I've seen to the British Bulldogs. Other than that, they were just a phenomenal tag team. I was, and maybe down the road they'll get that induction. So
I'm all for it.
now that you're a fan of professional wrestling, and you're cheering your favorites and booing the ones you don't like. How did your journey go from being a fan to training to now being a professional wrestler?
Well, from what I understand, I think it was the ending of 2013 is when I guess it clicked in me that decision for me. I went to a TLC event in Brooklyn, the Barclays, when they first started opening up, and had pretty good seats. And after the show was finished, I was one of those guys that just stood back when everybody was walking and leaving, and I looked at that ring and I said, you know what? I believe that I can do this. I know I can do this. So the first minute that clicked, I started looking around for credible schools um, to start investing into the future.
Cool. And you went to the night. Of course, you went to the Nightmare Factory. What was your
Correct.
mindset entering this school that was run by not only by QT Marshall, who is a great, wrestler. I've always had a respect for his talent. I always knew he could go far. And this is not because you're sitting in front of me. When I first saw him back in 2012, I was like, that guy is that damn good. That guy is money. Vince McMahon, Dixie Carter, who was in charge of Impact at the time, somebody cut this man a check and signed this guy. And of course, there was also the other trainers you had were, of course, Glacier, who was a big thing in the '90s. He was one of my favorites, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who is the son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and brother of Dustin Rhodes. What was your mindset going into that school and being trained by these men? Were there like butterflies, or were you like, you know what, I got this, I'm motivated, let me get this working?
Sure. There's a few other coaches that you've missed too. I'm not sure. Coach Ian and Coach Luke. They have a big part of the camp also. But going into meeting these coaches was overwhelming for me because at least for most of them, I've met them before back, in a few years prior. So briefly at the time. But getting, kind of close and personal, asking them questions, um, getting feedback, and just actually just showing um, us individually the steps of, becoming a better professional wrestler. Um, I was just mind blown about the whole experience personally. So
Awesome.
yeah, I mean, seeing these guys that you kind of idolize or watch or being entertained on television and actually getting to speak to them acknowledging you, speaking back to you, knowing you by your name, and it's just a remarkable feeling and experience that I can't explain.
Awesome. And of course, y'all did 12 weeks. I know it wasn't easy. I know people had, you had to dig deep to actually survive those 12 weeks and, to become a professional wrestler.
Right.
What was it like when they gave you that? I guess when they gave you the certificate, gave you the go ahead, said, "Hey, you're ready. Congratulations. Welcome to the industry. Go out and do great things." What was running through your mind at that time?
Um, what was running through my mind was, so I guess, sort of relief because, man, this camp is not easy. It's not for everybody. You really got to do the work. I mean, it's not just something you just say. This is something that you're really, putting your sweat and tears into this thing. Prior to whatever's going on in your personal life, because everybody's life is different. So it's just one of those things where you got to remember, why you're there, like your why you took the time to make this investment to make a bigger impact to touch probably millions of people in this world. So for me, man, I mean, like I said, this is one of those experiences where you just can't entirely explain, but you can give some of the notion because you have to be you to understand it. You know what I mean? So yeah, for me, it was just a beautiful, to be a part of. And when he told you, hey, you're ready, you're good to go, you're got it. It was just a sigh of relief for me. That's everybody's life is different, but for me it was just a sigh of relief. Like I made it through, and I did it for myself basically.
You're muted, man.
Yeah, it's a lag. It's a lag.
I'm sorry about that.
It's fine.
Student showcase too, man. I'm still smiling when I saw that because I was like, "Yo, y'all tore the house." I could watch that again. Y'all tore the house down. I saw you do that. That what was it? Was it tope suicide? You did a move over the top, but we dived over the top of, and I was like, "What? Yo, the British Wolf just did that. Yo, that's crazy." Yeah. So what? So what was it like? That was. So what was it like? What was your mindset in regards to that 4-way match? I mean, and now that y'all were being viewed by people online as well as you had to like perform in front of other people. Were there any
Right.
butterflies, or were y'all like we've had the training Cody, Coach Ian, Ray, Glacier, and QT Marshall, and I forgot. I apologize if I forget the other coach, the coach as well. They gave us
Yes,
the
Coach Ian.
tools.
Yeah. Hmm.
They gave us the tools to become what we want to become. Was it like neutral?
Well, um, being in the ring, they always tell you, you could be yourself, um, but just be comfortable. You don't want to be nervous. 9 out of 10 times, you just want to be confident. I mean, I, I guess a few people were had butterflies through the whole showcase, but once you get over the fact of just being comfortable of who you are inside of that ring, um, you just switch to another gear, and for me the butterflies was not there. Well, as soon as I went through those curtains, that's it. No butterflies at all. And I went into that match confident, trying to win, um, trying to make a huge impact um, for the showcase and for my match. um, but it's one of those things where I was one of those students that had some type of experience prior before the showcase. So um, it wasn't my first official match, but I've been there before, and I've had that butterflies that that people talk about, especially being into the ring. And over time, and as you gain experience and you gain control, and of what you can do and what you could present into that ring, you won't get that battle. That feeling wouldn't be like the first time.
So you have a saying, um, "Never howl alone."
Yes.
What's the meaning behind? Because I know that, and I'm not making fun of it.
Hmm.
Is that in regards to? And I'm not making fun or anything, though, because the wolf is one of my favorite animals.
Right.
Um, is that in regards to the wolf's, like, was the word gregarious nature of them being always in a pack, or is there some other meaning behind that?
Well, for me, once I enter the ring, with the people, the crowd behind me, the fans, you know, when you howl together, it brings like this electricity. It brings this frequency, and through that, being a part of something inside of a ring, when you have people like that howling to you on the same frequency in the same way, it just builds you up and it gives you this uh I guess if you're a Dragon Ball Z, it turns you to another Super Saiyan, basically. So that's what it does for me, and it electrifies the waves, and it just comes out as going like a stronger going momentum, basically.
Awesome.
Hmm.
So now that you're a professional wrestler, who of course, well, I always ask every wrestler this because I like to actually hear what they have to say, and then after look back and like, oh wow, they actually made it happen. So several years ago, one of your trainers, one of your coaches, Cody Rhodes, when he left WWE, he had a list of several wrestlers he wanted to face in the very near future, and subsequently, other wrestlers started doing it as well, posting their list of wrestlers they wanted to face online. My next question is, I just got two more now. Turn it over to Rob. My next question is, who are the top five wrestlers on the British Wolves, list to wrestle?
Well, for me, I don't have a list, to be honest. I don't have a list.
Okay.
Um, I'm pretty much too focused on self development that whoever comes into my path, you could be as great as you want, you could be as bad as you want. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna still be in the ring, and I'm gonna give it my best. Basically, you could be the greatest, wrestler in this world. That's not gonna stop me um, at all from, you know, becoming my opponent. You know what I mean? I don't have a favorite. I don't have a least favorite. I just go out there and just do what my heart desires to do is to wrestle.
Awesome. So my last question before I turn it over to by the way, you're the first person that told me that you don't have a list, and that's really cool. Um, my last question before I turn it over to Rob. Where do you see yourself in 5 years in regards to professional wrestling?
Well, I see myself in 5 years. I see myself as a champion. I see myself, you know, being one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. You know what I mean? Top 10, if that. I see myself really going far, because this is something that I don't even believe in anymore. This is something that I know that I can do, and that's just touch and reach a lot of thousands to millions of people. Once I have that door cracked open, basically.
Awesome. And honestly speaking, I'm hoping you make that happen. I'm hoping to see you on the big screen. Whether it be AEW or any other promotion. Best believe if I see you on there, I'll be telling my two hosts, Rob and of course Kathy, who couldn't be here with us today. I'll be like, yo, y'all turn on the TV, turn on the computer, go on, look who's on there. We just had him on the show. Now he's doing big things. So I'm definitely wishing that for you as well. And by the way, I'm digging that British Wolf shirt, man. Looks really,
Oh yeah, If you like the shirt, you could go on www.prowrestlingtees.com, the British Wolf, and I have up to 5 different colors in many sizes.
Hey,
So
y'all heard the man. Y'all heard the man. The man has merchandise available. So go out there, Pro Wrestling Tees, and cop that merch. I know y'all. Trust me. I know y'all like independent wrestling. If you see like independent wrestling like you do, go ahead and cop this man's merch. And don't tell me, oh, red is not your favorite color. You heard the man. He has different colors. So go ahead and cop one of them shirts.
there you
Support,
go.
show British Wolf some love. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not just doing it for the fame. He's doing it for the fans as well too. I love the game. So go ahead and support this man. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn over to Rob Bass right now. Hey yo, Rob, the floor is yours, man. Go ahead.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on, British Wolf, man? How's everything
What's up,
going your
Rob?
way?
How you feeling? I'm feeling good. Feeling great.
Oh man, I'm doing great now, man. I'm what they say, I'm happier than the Kembe Mutombo blocking the shot. You know what I mean? Getting interviews, so I'm great. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, nothing in my house. No, no,
There
no.
you go.
That's right, man. Yeah, man. I like the scenery back there, but the only thing is, like, when I'm in jungles, or if I see a jungle or a strange woods, I don't know. I always keep a lookout for predator, man. I've been looking behind you, trying to make sure there's no glimmer in the light, man. Because I remember, man, if you ever see predators, a glimmer in the light, man. So I've been trying to keep an eye out for you, man.
Well, speaking of that, Predator is one of my favorite movies, actually.
Oh yeah, one of mine too, man.
Oh yeah.
Man, yeah, I had that written down too, man. I was gonna get to it, man. Talk about Predator, but since we brought it up, man, you used to wrestle. Man, do you still have that Predator mask, man? You used to like wrestle like with one or come out with one, man.
Yeah, I do not have that Predator mask
okay.
anymore. But yeah, that was such a long time ago. But yeah, that was fully inspired by that movie, actually. One of my favorites.
Now, yeah, did you see the recent one? What was it, the couple years ago, man? Did you
Yes.
see that one? Yeah,
Yes, I saw that one.
What did you feel? How'd you feel about that one, man? Were you like,
Well, I was pretty I was wondering what they're gonna do with the next, because it was leading up to the next part 2 or whatever that was. So I'm really anxious to see how that would turn out. But yeah, I was very skeptical, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, same here, man. Yeah, I thought it was all right. Man, one of the Predator movies, man, nobody really talks about is 2, the one with Danny Glover. Yeah, I love that one, man. That one was real good. The one where he's in the
Yeah.
city. Yeah, and the Predators in there fighting like the Jamaican dudes and all that stuff. Oh yeah, that was a good one, man. Oh, nobody talks about that one. I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta bring that one. Everybody's like, get to the chopper, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's the best one. But yeah, Danny
Right.
Glover did it though.
Yeah.
So I do what gotta ask, man, that entrance music, man, when you come out, man. Who came up with that, man? Who's the beat maker on that one, man? That was badass, man. I was like, yeah, I was jamming when you were coming
Okay.
out.
So it was a guy named Cold Bread. Good friend of mine. Met him when I first started wrestling. He's actually one of the guys that did another one of my custom entrance music. And then I told him, hey, I have the showcase coming up. I need you to pull through. You could get another beat. And he said, you know what? I got you. I got something for you. So, he whipped it up and, put it down and he let me listen to it. And I said, well, let's go. This is the one right here.
That's right.
So then, so from there was history, basically.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely keep that one. That one was awesome, man. I was like, yeah, okay. And then you coming out breathing smoke and stuff. Oh.
Yeah, actually, he has it's on SoundCloud. I think you type in his name, Code Red. He has other instrumentals and other things that he does too, mixes. So it's a pretty good yeah, it's a good DJ. He's a good mixer, I call it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, producer, whatever, man. Be the next Timberland,
Right.
man. You know what I mean? Dr. Dre,
Right.
man. That'd be awesome. Now I do gotta ask, man, about the eyes, man. Does it help with the night vision, man? Does it make you see something different, man, when you're against your opponents, man? So you can like
Of
get that
course.
extra vision. You're out there,
Of course. I have that. That's the advantage I have.
That's
my
right.
opponents in the ring. Yeah.
That's right. Now I did get to see, man. You wrestled for WXW a while back, a few years ago and stuff for Alpha and stuff, man. You got to wrestle like Chico Adams, former guest of the show, and like Vertigo, another former guest. What was it like wrestling those guys and wrestling with them?
Oh man, those guys they're great individuals themselves, and I wrestling those guys is just just gaining momentum, gaining experience. It's just working the mat and just understanding who your opponents are and just and just vibing and working with them, and it's one of those things in my upbringing, I guess you could call it, that that I would cherish, because these guys are talented.
Hmm.
Whoever I step in the ring with, these are talented guys. You can't just step in the ring with the British Wolf without that proper training, and I have to trust you enough to work with you, basically. So it's one of those things that no matter what independent show, and I do tell everybody, support your local independent wrestling shows. It's very important because you never know who you will see on TV the next day. And
That's
those
right.
guys, Vertigo and Chico, what you brought up, those guys, they're going to be doing some amazing things also.
Yeah, because Vertigo, man, he reminded me of Taz, man, when he's in the ring, man. Just like, he's all just like stocky, just like he goes in there,
Mm,
throws people around, man. I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, Vertigo, the
mm,
man." Yeah.
mm.
And then you got the, learning from, like the Samoans and stuff, Alpha, and all that, man. What was it like, gaining knowledge from them, Like, man, they probably know
Well,
so much.
well, to back up a little bit, I worked for WXWC4. That's another I guess a little brother company to WXW, and that's owned by Alfred's son Samu,
Okay.
um, the Ross Moan, yeah. But working for Alpha for Pops is one of the amazing things, I guess, on your bucket list. Working with extreme talent and a Hall of Famer. And he's one of those coaches or those trainers that would show you exactly what tools you need to get to the next level.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's right. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, everybody is trained with him. They all call him Pops too, man. So they're like, yeah, Pops,
Right.
man. Pops knows what's up. So not only,
Because he
man,
trains, he teaches,
yeah,
he has his students like family,
hmm,
and it's kind of like almost like the Nightmare Factory,
hmm,
because when I went to train and learn from the coaches, and I get to get this bond with the other classmates, you build this family, or
hmm,
you call them your bro and your sis without any backstabbing or anything like that. You just feel that genuine love from these guys that you wrestle with or you train with.
that's right, that's right. Yeah, man, 'cause, yeah, you're all close together, man. Training,
Oh yeah,
fighting with each other in the ring, doing all that. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah, so yeah, you got probably get close. So
Hmm.
man, like, and then after that, man, you also got the wrestle for Gangrel, man, for his stuff, man. What's it like,
Yeah.
meeting him and wrestling for him, man? The vampire, man. You know what I mean? Did he have his teeth still when you met him?
Yeah, of course, of
Okay.
course. When wrestling or the Gangrel Wrestling Asylum, man, it's one of the, the greatest promotions that I've worked with. And if you're in South Florida, man, and you want to become an independent wrestler, I think that would be a great place to start from if you're in South Florida. You know what I mean? It's another of example of putting myself around leadership, and these guys that I try to surround myself with inspires me even more to become who I'm going to become in the future. So it's all a learning, it's all experience, it's all a great journey for me. I can't complain at all. I'm very humble, and I briefly meet a lot of people, but it's one of those things where you could just I could take a step back and look back and just say, man, I've accomplished a lot in my little time, but it's a beautiful experience.
That's right. Now, you're talking about the Nightmare Factory and stuff, man. We all heard that, man. Their training and nutrition staff there is like top notch, world class, man. So, like, have you taken some of their training and nutrition tips, home with you, to keep keep going, top of your game or whatever?
Of course, I mean
That's right.
that would be foolish of me not to take
That's
advantage
right.
of the information that was given to me by Coach Carolyn, of course. Um, it's they when they train you like at high level athletic experience. So it's one of those things where after the camp you have to take that information and you have to apply that into your life. You have the tools.
Hmm.
I think Coach was saying that Chip Smith has a book. that shows all the steps and all the things that they have done as far as training is required. I haven't bought myself a book yet, but I plan on doing that, and purchasing that book online.
That's cool. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, because I'm one doing nutrition things. I'm trying to gain weight. I've been on Operation Fat Rob for like 20 years. You know what I mean? I'm like, man,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to, sculpt some mass. You know what I mean? Because I figure, like Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles, he didn't, sculpt the Raphael or David or whatever with pebbles. You know what I mean? He got a big slab of
Right.
marble. You know what I mean, to work with. So I figure, I need to do that. Like, who's that actor? Like The Rock. He does like 7,000 calorie diet a day. Eat like him or something, man. But I'm
Monster, yeah.
yeah, but I'm just afraid, man. If I eat like that, and then when I have to use the restroom, it's like, oh man, is it like a elephant or something, man? Was in there? Oh man, so like man, I don't know if I'm prepared for that. I don't know.
Right.
So, man, I want to go back to like your very first match when you first wrestled, man. Were you nervous, man? Like, were the nerves, the butterflies, man? Did you have family there, checking you out or whatever, friends,
Definitely, definitely. I remember my first match. It was in April. I guess it was 2014, and it's one of those things where it's your first time wrestling in front of a live crowd, and this is where the butterflies come in, because you're thinking about everything. And it was one of those things where I wrestled a wrestler named RJR, Rich, and once I stepped into the ring with the crowd, after that day, I just felt relieved and I felt accomplished, and said, let's go back to the drawing board and let's keep working. So that was my confidence building up to this point.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Then yes, what was it 7 years later or whatever, man? You still, out there just tearing it up. So that was your first
Well,
match.
I,
Okay.
I took some time. I took some time off, for a while, and that's one of the things, for me, when I wanted to get back into wrestling. I said, you know what, let me do this the right way, because there's enough wrestlers that stops for a while, and then when they get back, it just goes straight into the ring rust.
Oh,
And I've
okay.
seen
Yeah.
it happen more than enough times that I didn't want to be that guy. So I said, I have to go back to training. I relocated to Georgia, and then that's where I wanted to, go to the camp for sure. And then from there, it's been a blessing because, like I said, with the conditioning and everything, it just had to get me right back into shape, like get me back into the groove of things. And I definitely needed. This was a personal thing for me. I needed to complete this camp to, give me that confidence back,
Hmm.
give me that reassurance that this is what I want to do.
That's right.
And that's what the Nightmare Factory has done for me.
Now, did you get to do any extra work or whatever for any of the pay-per-views while you were there? Because we had the Diamond Sheik on. He said he brought a Sting mask out. He got to be one of the Stings or whatever. Oh,
I can't
okay.
say anything.
Can't say anything. All
I
right. That's
can't
cool.
say anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll forget I asked that. I mean, like Men in Black. Look right here. All right. Yeah.
You're right.
So next question. So when's your next match, man? Coming up, man. Do you have one booked coming up soon?
I have a few bookings ahead of me, but right now I'm focused on doing some smaller work locally, but not wrestling wise, but something else. Because I do other things also. I guess you could say I'm a jack of all trades. So I do many things other than wrestling, to stay in shape and to stay ready instead of to get ready, type of thing. So I would just say, just follow my social media. I'm the British Wolf in all social media platforms, and then that's where I would update on my matches or my future events.
All right, that's cool. Now, yeah, like you said, man, you're like a jack of all trades. Like I want to say a renaissance man because not only were you wrestling and all that, man, I've seen you on red carpets, man. What's that like, man? You're on what was
Oh
Diary of a Bad Man. Yeah,
yes,
what's that like, man?
Diary
And is
of a
that
Bad Man.
streaming somewhere so I can watch it later
Um,
tonight?
it is. I was just a small scene and
Yeah,
everything like that.
still, I'll watch it. I'll
What?
check you out.
Oh yeah. What I do is I become part of these events so I could network, and actually the producer Demirai, um he and I has built a relationship where when he has um other movies and videos coming out, that would be something that we in the talks of doing something, I guess kind of superhero action film type of film.
Mhm.
We did a small little skit as with the British Wolf versus Blade. You probably could see that on Facebook. I don't think it's on YouTube, but it's on Facebook. If you type that in, because I have it in my my page, you'll be able to see a small snippet of what we done in that time. And that was in England actually. So
Oh,
that was a
nice.
fun time. That was a fun time for me.
That's pretty awesome, man. So, man, when you come up with the British Wolf, man, are you a fan of werewolves, man? Because I got a real funny werewolf story to tell.
I am. I am. I
Yeah.
am. I definitely am.
All right, man. So man, this is like 20 years ago, man. My friends and I, we were going partying all one night with these things like it's like a little small piece of paper you put there, it disappears, it makes you see things or whatever, hallucinate, whatever. Supposedly, I didn't believe at the time, but it was like, yeah, let's do that and watch a bunch of werewolf movies. We got Teen Wolf, we got Silver Bullet, and we got American Werewolf in London. All right. So we go watch that. We're watching Teen Wolf, and at the end, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go do this and be ready and all. Put in American Werewolf in London next. By the time Home Dude was changing into a werewolf, I thought I was a werewolf. Like, literally. I thought I was like, my nails were going and stuff. I was like, yo, for real, this is crazy. I got so scared. I called the police up and was like, yo, I'm going to turn into a werewolf. Everybody's freaking out. The dispatcher's like, honey, don't worry. You're not going to do nothing. There's no full moon tonight. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, he's like, woo, yes, okay, woo, all right, sweet. So yeah, we hung up and all that, man. It was good to go, man. Luckily, my friend's apartment was like, one of the things you can't just go in or whatever. So if even the police did come, somebody let them in or whatever. So thank God. But
Wow.
yeah, man, that's something the young man's game, man. I ain't doing that ever again. You know what I mean? Yeah, but yeah, it was a fun story, man. uh. So I do
Amazing.
got, so I do got to ask, man. Your shirts, man. You got some awesome shirts, man. Not only, man, you're representing that one man's right now, but it's also been in music videos and stuff, man.
Mm. Oh, you've been doing your research, huh?
Just a little bit, a tad bit, man. So, man, tell me, what's that like, man? Getting to see your own, merchandise, man. You were watching music videos, it's like, yo, man, you didn't wear my shirt, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, in my journey, I guess you could say I've always kept in contact with our friends that I grew up with, because most of them are like my friends, and they're independent artists, independent actors, and they're all independent all around. And I stay close to them because, like I said, we're chasing a dream of something, and it's a beautiful thing to that when you, I guess, make it, you have your upbringing, you could sit around the table with people that made it as well, and they support me as much as I support them, and that's what it's all about. It's really supporting each other, you know. And that's for me personally. I support people, especially if I see they have potential of becoming somebody who they think they are. I do my part of supporting them if it's purchasing something or being at an event or something like that. Then that's just I've always been like that.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I agree with that too. But man, another thing I noticed, man, everywhere you go, man, like you get gold everywhere you go, man. Every like federation you've been to, man, you've been champ. Yeah. So yeah, are you ready to come back, man? Be like Kenny Omega, you know what I mean? Like King of the Belts, with Ultimo Dragons that have belts everywhere, man.
Uh, I guess if I continue to do the work, I'll probably be able to be that guy. You know,
Hmm.
it's just staying I guess being consistent basically, and once I'm on that consistent train, um nobody's stopping me from that. I just,
Hmm.
for me personally, I have like so many things that I've got my hands into that I'm trying to accomplish. But if I was to put them all aside and just focus on one thing, that's it. It's the end of story from there.
That's right. Hey man, yeah, but I do believe you're gonna get gold again, man. You gonna because the way I've seen your matches, you go in there in the ring and dispense justice. That's kind of like what I describe. You go in there and dispense justice. Now I
You
do
have
gotta
to.
ask, man. That's right. Before I, pass it back to Remy, man, do you have any funny, road stories you can share, happening in your years of wrestling? I mean, you can change the name to protect the innocent if
Uh,
you need to.
well, I have one funny one. I guess it was I wrestled a show in WXW, and my trainer, head coach at the time, Samu, um, we was in Sunbury, and we were listened to the show, and then after the show was done, we all helped clean up and pack up the ring. Well, just as that was happening, we saw dark clouds happening. So dark clouds came, and at that time, the ring just sunk down.
Mm.
So we had to hurry up quickly and put everything into the ring truck. And as we were doing that at a remarkable speed, our trainer jumps on the ring, and it's like a scene from the Pirates of the Caribbean. He has the pole, and he said, "Oh, matey, let's get it!" And everybody's trying to. It was just the scenery. It was just funny, and it was just the way how he just played everything into that. It was just remarkable, and that was one of the funny moments too. Working with WXWC4.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that. But yeah, man, I want to say, before I pass it back to Remy, I want to say, thank you, for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on, chatting with us
Thanks for
today,
having
man.
me.
Yo, it was
Yeah,
awesome to chat with you. I wish nothing but, the positive things and the best for you, your family, and everything. And I hope you kick ass at everything you do, man.
yeah. Thank you. Right on.
Yeah, no problem, man.
British Wolf, I just gotta say, it was a pleasure having you on here. Thank you very much for this opportunity. We know you're a busy man right now, planning your next step, but really do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules. Just sit down and shoot the breeze with us as well. Before we actually let you go and shut down the show, where can fans find you on social media if they want to find out when your next appearance is, if they want to purchase
Sure.
merch?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm even on TikTok now. So the British Wolf. Just type in the British Wolf in any search engine, and you should be able to pull me up and follow me, basically.
Awesome. So y'all heard the man. Follow him on social media. He has merch. You see what the man's rocking. So go ahead and cop that merch. Support indie wrestling. If you don't support indie wrestling, you don't cop this man's merch. I'm gonna let Rob over here eat your lunch, your dinner, and your breakfast.
That's
And
right.
trust me, he
That's
will
right.
do it.
That's right.
Support
Come with
indie
the eagle
wrestling.
claw.
There you go. Yeah. So I gotta say once again, thank you for actually being on our show. To the rest of y'all in class 2 for Nightmare Factory, we coming for y'all too. Lewis Lessons, we got you this week, brother. We got you this week. But yeah, but y'all once again, man, thank you for that great student showcase. I
Yeah,
was
no
thoroughly
problem.
impressed. It was the first one I saw, and I was very impressed by it. Top to bottom, it was perfect. And I look forward to seeing more student showcases from y'all over there at Nightmare Factory as well. Hopefully, are fans allowed I mean, after COVID, will fans be allowed to attend? Because I'll book a ticket to Atlanta to go witness one. I don't mind. I mean, I like seeing good wrestling. So, but if not, I mean, it's all cool.
I want to say one thing because a lot of people always ask me. They said that how come you've never wrestled in England? And I said, well, that's not true. I have wrestled in England, and the promotion I worked in England was WAW UK, and you just had Miss Knight on here the other day. So I just wanted to say, how are
Wow,
you?
WAW, that's good, man.
Yes.
That
So I have unfinished business over there, so I should be popping back on the scene, the England scene soon.
you know
So yeah,
I still can't believe that we actually had her on the show. I'm like dreaming wide awake right now. I'm like, we just had Miss Knight, a 20-year legend, the wife
yeah.
of Rick Knight, the mother of Paige on our show. I couldn't believe it.
They are
But yeah,
awesome people. Awesome, awesome people. Awesome.
yeah. Anyways, once again, thank you. We look forward to seeing more of you soon. In professional wrestling. With that being said, it is time for us to bid y'all adieu. My eyelids are getting heavy, so that means it's time for probably a power nap and maybe get up and get into some other hijinks. Not Kathy hijinks though, because she does her own thing. But Rob, where you at on social media, man? Where can fans find you if they want to, be on the show, talk wrestling? Where can wrestlers or promoters find you if they want to be on our show?
You can find me Twitter and Instagram, Rob_Base82, Facebook, Rob Base, and then Xbox, YouTube, any of that stuff, Twitch, Rob Base.
Awesome. Shout out to our other co-host Kathy, who's currently away right now, picking fights with people that rock Cobra Kai t-shirts. Kathy, we love you. Rob, don't start either too, man. She might attack you, so don't do that. But
I sleep with one eye open.
There you go. But to those of y'all that actually listen to us live right now, shout out to the Diamond Sheik. Thank you very much. Y'all could have been doing something else, but we really appreciate y'all taking this time out to listen to us. To those of y'all that are gonna listen to us later on via our YouTube channel and our Facebook group, thank you in advance. And to those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we go away and take our merch with us, which is really cool. Merch to wear. We're sorry you feel that way, but like a 90s Snickers commercial, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
We ain't stopping like Bad Boy Records. And with that being said, we just want to let all y'all know that we here at Ringside Society are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. Oh wait, I'm forgetting something. Oh right. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Twitter at @TheRemyBlue. You can find our podcast on Twitter at Ringside Society. We're also on Instagram at Ringside Society. We also have a Teespring. Store. It's under Ringside Society. Check it out. We have a lot of great, merch. A lot of great designs there as well too. More to come. And follow our YouTube channel. We have a lot more interviews coming here real soon. We have some great ones from the past. Check us out on Blog Talk Radio. We're actually on there too. Have a lot of great interviews as well. But yeah, we just want to let all y'all know that we here at Ringside Society are very well aware that everybody and their grandparents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for our good friend from England, the British Wolf.
Oh,
thanks for having me. Also, right. Join me because we never howl alone.
That's right.
We're
the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right.
And you're not a wolf, you're a goat. You're the goat.
With that being said, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, but we'll be back tomorrow night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another amazing guest. And then after that, we'll be back Wednesday with Lewis Lessons, another man who impressed at the student showcase too. But until then, during this pandemic, stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Peace. See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.